Okay, before we get started this morning, just to update everybody on the reports I'm getting on the COVID around the state of Kentucky. Friday in the Barren River area. This is a report that comes out once a week. There were 408 cases in the Barren River area. 51 of those was in Logan County. And as far as the report on the state yesterday, there were 783 new cases yesterday. The report I got last Friday was 994, and it bounced back and forth between 900 and a little bit over 1,000 every day last week as far as new cases reported. So we need to remember those people that we do our prayer this morning, and remember the people that's hurting for other reasons. And with that being said, Scotty, would you do our prayer this morning?
Let's pray. Lord, thank you for this wonderful day that you've given us. Lord, thank you for allowing us to come together and do the county's business. Lord, I ask that you would be in that, the decisions that we make, Lord, would be pleasing to you. Lord, we ask that you would lay a special hand upon Jack this morning as he gets to feeling better. We ask that you would just continue to bless him and get him well as soon as possible back to the business with the county. Lord, we ask that you would be with your people in the county and in the state of Kentucky and even in the world, Lord, that this new COVID that's coming around, that we would get past it again, Lord, and get back to a normal where we can serve you better. So we lift up all these requests to you and give you all the thanks.
Amen.
Okay. Thank you, Scotty. Okay, let's call the meeting order with a pledge to the American flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did Tyler go get the phone or?
Yeah, I think. Thomas might call.
Okay, before we get started this morning, I need to move a few things around on the agenda. Right at the top, after approving the minutes, I had Bruce Nelson with JKS going to give an inspection report. And then item number 4, discuss the agreement for purchase and sale with housing property. We need to move them to the bottom of the agenda, both of them. And since this is pertaining to possible real estate purchases and things, we'll go in closed session before we come out on the other.
Can't get him. I called his office. And they say they're trying to contact him.
Okay, first thing is approval of the minutes.
Probably you want us to amend
Amend
the budget.
Oh, yeah, we need to amend the budget.
Amend the agenda.
Amend the agenda, I'm sorry.
Bruce one down and then number 4.
Oh, okay. I'll make a motion to amend the, we already had a motion. Okay, amend the agenda as presented.
Second.
Okay, with those changes.
With those changes, yes.
Okay. We got a motion and a second. Questions? Not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, next item of business is the minutes from the last court meeting.
Make a motion, we accept the minutes as presented.
Second. Okay, got a motion and a second. Is there any question? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden, Chick,
Yes. Okay, next item of business is the bills and the supplemental bill list.
Motion to approve bill list and supplemental bill list.
Second.
Okay, is there any questions? Okay, if not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay. Okay, next item of business is treasurer report. Amanda?
Good morning. I only have one thing for you today. Today, we need to transfer $350,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the jail fund. We have debt service payment and the bills, so that's the main reason for such a large transfer.
I make a motion.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and second on the budget transfer. Any questions? Not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes,
That's all I have.
It was like 290 was that bill, wasn't it? 290 or something like that?
the payment was $290. I just looked it up. It
Plus
was,
the interest, okay.
yeah. Okay,
How much we owe on that? Still a couple.
hopefully we'll be finished with that payment here in just very few years now.
Yeah, well,
How much debt's left on it? A million?
We looked into that last year, you know what I'm talking about, on the payoff.
Yeah.
That's excluding interest. I think it was less than $1.5 million. You know, it's, and I'm just operating off of memory.
Yeah.
So we had the opportunity last year, year before last, you know, that we could have recalled the bonds, but the court chose not to. Okay, road work request, Tyler.
District 1, continue maintenance, everything look good. Kelly, appreciate it.
District 3, Kelly, just continue maintenance, and thanks for taking care of the bill Scotty mentioned. Appreciate that. And thank you.
Same here, District 4, all roads, continue maintenance, everything's looking good. Appreciate all the hard work.
District 5, same thing, Kelly.
Okay, y'all have heard the road work request. Do we have any questions about them? I think y'all did a little blacktopping last week, some of you did, so.
Did they fix that place out there in front of you, behind the Canes? Behind Tim Kane?
Yeah, they did.
Is it good?
It's patched.
You had an emergency at work.
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thomas will be here shortly.
Okay. Y'all have heard the road work request. Do we have a motion on?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and second. Now, is there any question? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, elected officials. Mary, you have anything? Okay, what about Steve?
Morning.
Good morning.
I got a personnel action request for you guys to look over. I had a open slot with the DTF, and officer from Russell Police Department has accepted that position. So I was going to do a personnel request for his years of experience.
Well, how'd you have open? Somebody retire or what?
Yeah, well, we had 2 out there. One of them come back to the sheriff's office, so that left a vacancy at DTF.
Okay.
And I guess it's probably been open for about a year. But he's got years of experience. He used to work at DTF from Russell when he worked at Russell Police Department. So I mean, he can go right into the job and pick right back where he left off at. So.
What you do with it? Oh.
So the only problem that I have with it is the years of experience. I know we talked about, and I thought it was a done deal whenever we discussed it, when we did the new salary schedule, is that we wanted to go to just a flat 15-year experience cap on those hires, because that's what it was coming up to anyway, and with, you know, with the amount of that we the way that the new schedules work, it just don't, you know, it just don't work out on the years of experience to do the 25%. But Judge, do we?
We didn't change personnel policy. We're going to talk about that a little bit today.
Okay.
That personnel policy's got 2 or 3 things that need to be put in it.
Yeah.
And I guess I can take the blame on part of that. Because I take an ordinance and we got 2 or 3 things we need to look at in it. I know for sure.
Yeah. Well, we've been hiring everybody else in at 15, so I can't, wouldn't be fair to other people that have come that's only got 15. So I don't know how that affects the hiring of this guy, or.
Well, I mean, I went by the policy and give him what was by the policy. So, I mean, he's already left his job to come here based on what he was offered through the policy. And, I mean, I wouldn't have done that if it hadn't read that in the policy. I wasn't aware of that either. Or I wouldn't have done it. So, I mean, I don't know if there's a fault or not, but I hate to go back and say, well, that this is wrong, even though by policy it said it was the 25% cap. It's my only thing is that, you know, I have to, you know.
So we'll just have to go back, and we would have to go back and check everybody else that we've hired between now and then that we gave 15. If they had more, we'll have to adjust everybody and give them back pay.
Well, I think that would be y'all's decision. I mean,
Well, on the old pay plan, it was 15 years. Was the maximum you could give them.
No, it was 25%, but it usually worked out to be about 15 because it was so jacked up that it worked out somehow to be 15 every time. But now that there's an evenly distributed amount every year, it throws it off.
I'm lost, Logan. What are we talking about? The amount that we pay them?
So somebody that has years of experience, in the past, we don't bring somebody in that's, you know.
Like, that don't have that many years?
So
And
somebody that hasn't put their time in here as a Logan County employee, then we don't, you know, their experience was somewhere else. We generally had a rule that we don't give them all their experience. So we give them 15 years was the cap that we decided when we voted on doing the new salary schedule and everything. We decided to do 15 years.
You mean for that pay schedule, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or you still hiring? but it'd be a little less pay, is that what you're saying?
It's capped out at 15 years. Like, if we had somebody that had 40 years in with the state, and then we hired him, we can't give him 40 years experience or 30 years experience. We put it at like a 25% or a 15-year cap is what we were trying to even it out, but looks like there's a loophole, so we're gonna have to straighten up because there's a couple we've done that away, correct?
I don't know offhand, to be honest.
I think this is the first one that we are doing.
I think it's the
under
first
new
one.
pay.
Yeah, I was thinking it was for me, but I don't know if you was talking about other people in other departments.
I was thinking your department, but I don't talk names, but
and I mean, I don't want to kick the can too much. I mean, I feel bad because I went by what was in the policy, and that's what I quoted,
and I guess that's what we gotta go by, 'cause if that's what the policy says, we're gonna have to go by it, but
Well, we've changed the years of experience before.
How many people are we talking about? Do we know how many?
Well, I don't know. Or they're saying that we haven't hired anybody since then. That's been over 15 years. but-
Okay, I'm still lost. I don't know,
I
folks, I know what
don't
I'm
know about
doing.
anybody else.
Barry?
He was under.
We've not hired anybody that this rule is applied to since we implemented the new pay plans.
But
When was that?
It says right there.
July 1 of 2020.
Barry, what I'm not, Lord, could still hire him, but but he wouldn't get that, he'd get lower.
see, it's right over here at his previous year's experience. See, they're giving him 22 years of experience, and
Okay.
there's a little controversy on
Okay.
that when we bring somebody in.
Okay, but if you don't hire him, can you still hire him though, but
Yeah.
with less pay?
But he's already quit his job. This individual's already quit his job for this money. So if we dropped him down, then he's taking a job for less money than probably what he was making. Under
We
this
don't know.
policy.
We don't know
We
that.
don't know that. No, we do not know that, but
Sure.
possibility.
'Cause you're right,
I mean,
'cause you
if
know
you
what
give
he's
7
making.
years away, you're.
Well, he probably
Yeah,
wasn't
it's,
making
it's
that.
about $2 difference.
So,
He probably wasn't making that, he wouldn't
Yeah.
want to work here.
It don't matter. He took this job at this pay right here.
And I wouldn't have done that if I knew that. I mean, I wouldn't have done it.
I know you wouldn't.
And I didn't know it till actually yesterday, I guess, when we realized that had been said, but I had went by the policy.
Let me see that one more time.
I guess, Joe, what do we?
But so you're hiring him in as a
DTF.
DTS.
What's that mean? Just hire him as a deputy, is that what you call him?
A drug task force. He'll be signed to the drug task force.
Oh, 'cause the
Which
drugs,
is a
okay.
stipend, there's a stipend for that, so it's,
DTF is 1S1, not 1S2.
And I think it was in 19 when we changed it. There's probably been
it's-
In other
10.
words, he's got quite a bit of experience
There's
in
probably
the
5, 10
drugs
people.
then,
yes, yeah,
with the Russell Police
yes,
Department.
yeah.
And she's got,
It's still in our final policy at 25, and we were talking about the only one that any of us can think of, and he took this job in reliance on that offer. My advice would be to go
Pull that,
forward with it on this
pull
one.
the mic down, I can't hear you.
My advice would be to go forward with it on this one and then change the policy immediately so it doesn't happen in the future, but I'm not of the impression we've hired anybody with more than 15 years' experience in the recent past that I can think of.
Under the new.
We have,
K.
okay.
Well, it's not the experience, it's a 25%. They throw in the personnel policy.
Was you hired December and then started until July 1?
We've only been on the new pay scale, it went into effect on July 1 of 2020.
okay.
So we have been under it for one full year and we just started our
So that answers.
And she started in 19.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So, I mean, the personal action request says stipend schedule LCCO 1S2, but what I have is that the DTF gets 1S1, which is the stipend of 75 cents more instead of $1 more.
That's fine, that was-
Unless it was mistyped on the job itself,
Well, it could have been an error
on the job description. So I'm gonna just change that to, so y'all gonna go 22 years? I'll let you make that.
So there's nobody else that we would,
That's what they're saying, it says 20.
Because if it went into effect in 2020, it went into effect 7/1/2020. And they're saying the person that would have been added before that, so
Okay.
he would be or
So
he
instead
or
of-
she
It's
who.
2233 instead of 2258.
All right, I'll put this on, you okay, Ron, since you changed that there?
Yes, yeah, no, that's fine. It could have, I just looked at it wrong.
Make a motion that we hire Troy Robinson, LCSO1, LC, what is that, SO,
Should be, let me see.
okay.
It's actually, it's a good one.
Okay. LCSO1S1 at $22.33 per hour and giving him 22 years of experience. I'll put that in form of a motion.
Okay, got a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, question. Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
No.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
yes.
Kyle,
No.
Chick,
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
Okay, so what we do to straighten this up now, we won't have this problem.
We just need to amend that section of the personnel policy.
I'm thinking about these others we're talking.
And
They just
Matt,
said there wasn't any.
Tyler, am I hearing it right, that it just needs to remove the 25% and just say capped at 15 years? Which I agree with that sentiment, and
We got a few other things that be added.
Well, also, the years of experience, January 1 being the cutoff date for years of experience. Like if you were hired January 2nd, then you won't get the extra years of experience until the following.
Yep.
That was supposed to be in there too. Or it was supposed to be-
Yeah, I think, what was it, January 1 or something,
If you
I actually
hired
thought we
after
were already
January
operating
1.
under that. Are you saying that one never got added in?
I guess if the 15-year didn't, we discussed it at the same time, I'm assuming that it didn't get put in there as well.
So it used to be a 25%. Now it's 15
That was the
years.
most you could go up.
Oh,
So
now it's at
25% of the
But it
zero
actually
years of
didn't relate
experience.
to years of
You get
experience.
25%
It
of
just
that, that
allowed
would
you to
be
go
years
up
of experience you go up
25%,
to.
I think, didn't it?
There's a
But now it's,
couple there,
now you still do the 25% with the 15
It's
cap.
almost like you could make an
So
offer
when we
within.
was doing all the salary schedule stuff and we had to do ordinance on that, I was under my impression that, I guess we didn't, but it was under my impression we did the ordinance reading as well as to do the 15-year cap and all that is what was supposed to happen, but they're saying it
And
didn't.
Joe,
So,
was that,
but I just
insurance thing they go on there too? About the
I just don't
wellness?
like doing this for one person and then we're gonna go back and do 15 years for the next person. They were gonna
We
remember.
can always put it in there. I don't know if it has to or not.
Yeah.
On the road, because if we'd had that in there, we wouldn't have got this person.
Okay, we'll move on then to Scotty.
Well, if it would have been in there, he would have had to
Okay,
hire him based
department
off that,
heads.
which would have been $2 less, and the guy might.
Kelly, you got anything this morning?
That's what I'm saying, we would have missed it. But we
But-
talked about it
everything about change.
Okay, Nathan?
Change that. If the pay is a little too less, we're gonna need to up their pay, you know, up the starting pay to sheriff's office.
But you can move around and just different stipends.
Hey, Nathan, how are you?
Hey, good morning. Yeah, just real quick, I just make mention a few things I put in your folders. We had some litter pickup groups, so appreciate them picking up even with the heat out there on some of those roads. The recycling center has been painted. You might have seen it going by, and we have all the lights are working in it again. So we're happy about that. We're still changing out a few others to the new lights, but all the lights are working, so it's a good sight to see. And as far as our tire collection, they've had some questions about the types of tires to take. I just want to put that out for everybody today, that we are taking the ones with the rims too, as well as the tractor and semi tires. A lot of folks have asked about that, so just they mentioned that. We feel like we're set up pretty well with the site and workers. And just a reminder, it's 8 to 3 on Thursday and Friday, and 8 to noon on Saturday. And I'll be out there checking them, and y'all see some of y'all out there.
Hope so.
Was you happy with the job, the paint job on the building?
Yeah. As far as I could tell, seemed like it did fine.
Good deal.
So, nothing else. That's all I had. So,
Okay, thank you, Nathan.
thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
Okay, judges, announcements, will you get anything from ambulance service? Okay, I don't get if we've heard anything on our chassis.
No, the ambulance.
Okay, judges, announcements for today. Tire recycling is scheduled July 29th through July 31st at Mulch Outfitters and Landscaping Supplies. The dog days of summer are in downtown Auburn, August 13th through the 14th. The Logan County Tobacco and Heritage Festival is set up for September 23rd through October the 9th. The Logan County Tourism is having their 6th annual countywide hometown hay bale trail, October the 1st through October the 31st. Just got one or two things in. Hanson out at the Rockware is having Customer Appreciation Day this coming Friday. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. if any of you want to join them for food, drinks, and cupcakes, and a few door prizes out there at Hanson. So I just got that in this morning. So I'll pass that around if y'all want to make a note of it. And then several times this week I've sent out several emails, and I did send out the part about essential workers that y'all might look at on the email, and just want to make that so that's the announcements I got. Is there something that y'all know about that I missed? Okay, I don't see any citizens in the court today.
I was gonna report on for the equipment committee on the tractor.
Okay.
I went out and checked on it. Kelly has too. They're working on it, waiting on a few parts. They hope to get it back going pretty quick. Ended up being a little more, the brake issue, I think, on it, so there was a little more stuff wrong when they got into it. But they're thinking maybe the brake pads is maybe what started the problem. Being said that, I would like for y'all to try to put together, I think we ought to probably go on and try to get bids sometime in the near future to replace that tractor, to trade it in and replace it. But, because they're talking like it could be a year before we could find a tractor or get one in with the equipment shortage and stuff. So I'd like to see us focus toward that maybe. But they are going to get it fixed. They are going to stand behind it a year, parts and labor for a year on it, and they talk like they have it going maybe next week.
Okay, that, of course, that last tractor we had, it was a boom tractor, we're using it for a mowing tractor now. So.
This one, I think it's got 2,900 hours on it, and it looks real good. It's been taken good care of. I probably would think about maybe trading this one in as a whole unit, would be my recommendation, or my personal recommendation, because it still looks good, and I think it still bring good money, and we just get a price maybe on just replacing it, but would like to have a creeper gear on this next one.
Yeah.
So, that's all I have on that.
Okay, but they talk like it could be a year getting,
There's the equipment shortage, and it could possibly be a year. If we turned in right now to bid on it, it could possibly be a year before we get one.
I wish we had a backup one.
Okay, I know we skipped this last time looking at those ice cards, cause Thomas wasn't here. Y'all want to table that again, or just wait till?
If Thomas is coming, can we just push it to the end of the meeting?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't,
we can take it up a little bit later.
I think, I asked him about that. Who, did NATO put the roof on?
yeah, he did.
Okay.
And NATO's the low bid, so I don't know.
That's who needs to do it.
Let's do it right now.
The people that did the roof needs to do that.
Well, let me state this for everybody. We got quotes for a snow retention system, ice guards for the roof at the ambulance building, and we had 2 quotes that was turned in. Trying to seek other quotes, and we got one from NATO Roofing, and we also got one from Preferred Roofing.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve quote from NATO Roofing to install ice guards on ambulance building for $3,950.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second then to approve NATO Roofing for the ice guards. And I did talk to him, and he said if I didn't hear anything from him, that his estimate would still be good, and I didn't hear any more from him. So that quote is $3,950. And if any more comments or questions? If not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, the next item of business, first item of new business this morning is to open proposals for partners with the private entity to apply for the National Telecommunication Information Administration Broadband Infrastructure Grant, Program Grant. We advertised this in the paper. I've had a couple, 3 contact me, but nobody requested it other than the electric plant board. And it is sealed like it was advertised.
Got 1 minute left. That's what you're looking for.
Okay, and they've just got one copy of this, so,
Is there a computer paper shortage?
Printer toner shortage.
I don't know whether we need to make copies for everybody.
No,
I don't know what I'm looking
got one.
Whatever Tyler says goes, right?
at. That's right.
Yeah, we got one response. There's no numbers involved. It's just, if we want to be in a partnership with them, it's nothing to do with price or cost or nothing like that. So it's not like, we're comparing,
Apples,
we're paying any kind of pricing or anything, so, it's nothing confidential on it, so. I mean,
Elizabeth
what you
just walked
expected
in.
to
We
get?
appreciate your hard work on this and your quick work on it too.
That's the same.
yeah.
What's bad about that truck driver? So how does this work?
I'll make a motion that we accept this proposal for going into partnership with Electric Plant Board to apply for NTIE grant. I'll read it. I don't remember exactly what it's called. Okay.
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the proposal from Russellville Electric Plant Board and joining partnership with them, applying for the NTIA Broadband Infrastructure Program grant.
Second.
Okay, got 'em. I guess, Robert, you seconded, I didn't hear that, but heard you say something. Questions? Okay, not hearing anything, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, next item of business, you got a copy of this, Joe? Rental agreement.
Oh, yes.
Approved rental agreement between Logan County Fiscal Court and Ross and Teal LLP.
Thank you.
And she didn't want to hear the rental agreement, did she?
And basically, the history on this was, before I took office, the county attorney's office was in another building, which Tom No rented, and then the county paid rent towards that. When I came in, Judge Chick kind of encouraged us to put the county attorney's office up here, and being the businessman that he is, encouraged us to have a law office up here as a way of, one, providing rent, but then also offsetting expenses. So sometime in 2011 or 12, I would say, we started that relationship and basically did it year to year with a nominal amount of rent based upon the fact that the vast majority of what goes on in the office is county attorney. And then each year, as we look to look over that again, he said, I would rather keep it where it is and you all pay more expenses. So as a part of that, I've always tried to make sure my yearly supply budget and whatnot stayed the same, and it has, except for this year, which was only up because of a carryover. For years, it hasn't been an issue, but recently, as auditors change, looking at stuff, they said even with this relationship, we needed a rental agreement. So I tried to write something up that memorialized what had been the relationship between us, my private law practice, the county attorney's office, and Logan County for the last 12 years. Is that a fair generalization, Judge Chick?
Yeah.
I think we ought to just kick them out.
Well, I like him, so let's vote on it one more time.
I will say that one reason we put all the stuff about expenses in there, the big one is the legal research, which is something I use for fiscal court a lot. So that is the big one that we would have to have in order to adequately cover you. But that's why I included that stuff, just so you can see the other kind of expenses this saves as a part of it.
I'll make a motion to approve the rental agreement between Logan County Fiscal Court and Ross and Teal LLP as presented.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second to approve the rental agreement as it is written. Questions?
Well, we can turn the air on in here then, for real.
You want to keep that place a little nicer, we're going to kick you out.
Before they moved up there, we were paying, I think, 50% of the rent of the other office on that, Amanda. I think it was a total of 50%.
That's been so long ago.
Yeah. But anyhow, we were paying part of the rent on the other building. Instead of using the word 50%, we were paying part of the rent.
Gotcha.
You all know Judge Chick, somebody that can work a balance sheet, so he turned a negative into a positive.
Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, next item of business is approve extending of the agreement with Kelwell Food Management and the detention center for one more year. Y'all got a copy of that if you look on 7 where it says records. That was initially bid for a 3-year term, and it should end June 30th of 2021, and thereafter automatically be extended if agreed upon for 2 additional terms through June 30th, 23, not to exceed 36 months. And everything seems to be going well with it, and I make a recommendation that we extend it 1 more year at this time.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement with Kelwell Food Management and the Detention Center for 1 more year through June 30th, 2022.
Okay? Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second it. These signatures are older signatures that's on this. It's just the same thing, I guess.
Do what?
The signatures here were like 625 of 20, but
I guess it's just a copy of the original.
I guess it's just a copy of the original contract, so it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know, wouldn't be an issue with that, would it? It was bid for 36 months, and we already signed off on it. And,
You're just looking to extend it.
do what?
Are you looking to extend it? You're extending the one we've
Yeah.
already,
I think when you signed it, you agreed also that you could
do it without
do it without, I guess.
commemorating it again, other than just by how
You
we
think we need
choose.
to sign a new one?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Okay. Somebody second it. You second it?
I made the motion, nobody seconded it.
Do we have a second?
Barry, didn't you?
I second it. That's what I
Okay.
thought. I was going to, but
Man, we got bad memory.
He has now.
man, we got good memory this morning.
Okay, is there any more discussion about that? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, we moved item number 4 a little bit later in the agenda. The item next is to approve to advertise for a request for a proposal for voice over IP phone system that will be customized by department and have built-in redundancy. And y'all should have a copy of the request for a proposal. And don't know exactly when we'll
Yeah, it's
put this out, but it's got to come out sometime the next few weeks.
It's under the agreement and purchase.
And basically what it is, it's our voice over IP phone system. The contractor we got on it is, the time period's running out on it. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years. And then y'all got also a copy of the specification sheets, how it was customized for each office.
So the only thing different about it this time is they're wanting us to do, is that the redundancy part, right? Is that an added thing?
The redundancy, we've already got it. With each, what it is, and I might need Scotty to come up here and kind of explain that, but it can be rolled over, I understand I got, and have it back up and going in, about 10 or 15 minutes. He's got his own program. Scotty, you want to come up and touch on that?
When I talked to them, the people that's doing it now last, they was talking about us having a redundant internet connection in case our internet went down. We don't have that now.
Yeah, well,
We don't have 2 internet connections at all the buildings.
he has capability of shifting it over to like Verizon, like if it was on AT&T, what was our previous provider, if we had gone down, we wouldn't have any redundancy built in because we were working with AT&T strictly as the first party
Right.
platform.
But today, you have a backup?
Everybody does in the
They
county.
have like a,
So if it were to, let's just say somebody hit a pole that knocked out all the internet,
Right, I mean, I understand.
then it would automatically switch over to Verizon or whoever else
I just
He may
didn't-
contract with on the platform level.
Gotcha. So but I guess, I don't see those bills, so I guess part of their cost is built in for the 5 years, and they make that deal with
That's part of
Verizon
the,
or whatever.
well, yes, that's part of the customized that we're under, yes.
I was because I talked to them yesterday, and they were talking about maybe getting a backup internet connection for some places, like we don't have it. So that's why I just got confused, so, but, I mean, if they're already doing it now, then, we don't need to do it. I was just wondering if it was going, they're talking about doing a backup interconnection. I just want everybody to realize that would be like, $70, $80 per place per month, if that's what they were talking about. But if it's the cellular thing, then I guess it's different.
Yeah, it's built into the.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay, and we did talk to the auditor, and she was okay with the way this proposal was written up.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we advertise for bid, a request for proposal for a voice over IP phone system that will be customizable by department and have a built-in redundancy.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and second. Is there any other questions on it? We wrestled with trying to get this put together for several days and finally called the auditor. And the auditor said, that it would be okay to use that word redundancy and customized phone system. Because I think there is some people out there that offer voice over IP, but they don't have
Redundancy
the
capability.
network.
Yeah, I would say the redundancy part separates some from others, so that's probably why that's out there. But that's fine.
Okay, if there's no other questions, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
Judge, you take a few minute break. You care
Well,
about
let's take a small break here, because I think we're fixing to get into some stuff that maybe some of us, maybe another court member might show up here in just a minute. Okay? So we're going to take a break.
We
Apologize about
accepted, we
that.
accepted
Okay, we got
Nim's bid for.
everybody
maybe
back in their
turn our
seats,
own
and the
down,
next
get
item
money
of
off
business.
them.
Next item of business is to discuss fiscal year 21-22 road allotments, and I don't see any of you's got the road allotments, so write this down. As I go through it, it was requested at the last court meeting that we look into this, and we did, about putting $1 million in to divide between the districts. That would take another $366,984.04.
366,000 what?
366,984.04.
Yeah, .04, okay.
Okay? And your situation, Tyler, part of the reason is the carryover, but you carried over 35,225.01. If we raise it to $1 million instead of 52,540.32, it would be $83,000.
Which is, yeah, that's the amount I was distributed the first year I was matched.
Okay. All right, the next is Jack. Jack carried over 46,871.12. His allotment, instead of being 126,603.19, it would be even $200,000. Okay, Berry District. It would change his allotment from 143,061.61 to $226,000 even, and you had the largest carryover, Barry.
I don't know.
Okay, Jason Harper. It would change your allotment from 164,584.15 to 260,000. Giving you quite a bit of a larger total. So you carried over a pretty good amount too. District 5, Robert Kyle, the study year allotment being 107,612.71, it would be $170,000.
170.
Oh, 112.
Or 107.
One, no.
Oh.
One, your new allotment would be 170, 170.
I think today it's 107, right?
That's
All right. You got 107 according to what,
Oh, okay,
but if we change it back to $1 million spread out, you'll get 170.
okay. I got it then. I just didn't hear. I got it.
Okay, Thomas, instead of your allotment being 38,613.98, it would be $61,000.
What's my carryover?
Your carryover was 242,533.68. That would give you a total of 303,533.68. Does any of you want to know any of the rest of your numbers?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, yeah. If that's okay with you.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, yeah.
I told him I'd do it to you.
Yeah.
He said it's-
Well, Judge, like I said, it's, you know, I just want to keep it the same every year. I don't want it to be less. I think the people that carry over have a valid reason of carrying over. I mean, that's their business and their district. But for my district, I just need to, you know I carried over 30, but, or 35, but that's one road for me. That's not even a mile. I don't think. So, you know, there's not a lot of, for my district, I usually spend it all, or most all of it, and I just need to make sure I take care of District 1, and in order for me to do that, I need it to not go down in my allotments. I need it to stay the same, and I think $1 million spread amongst us on our percentage is most ideal, and not the 40% less that it was this year. So what I'm still would like to make a recommendation of whatever it is we need to do to make it a 1 million division. I think that's what we need to do.
Now, this money had to be transferred from where we got money, you know, and we got a little contingency and occupational tax
Okay.
in the budget.
I mean, anybody else?
And the biggest problem is we carried over $1 million unspent money last year. That's where the issue's at.
Well, depending on the year, it can be more, and depending on the year, it may be a lot less. There won't be no carryover next year because we're all spending our money. So, you know, next year,
Yeah, if we all spend our money now, and it, I mean,
there won't be no money put back in.
yeah, so.
Yeah.
But if we all spend our money, we're fixing to take a chunk out of the account. I mean, I don't know, I've got some pretty big projects coming up.
I mean, you can spend
You got a lot of
$150,000.
money carry over.
Well, you know,
It took 8
everybody-
years to do that, and it took 8 years to do it.
Sure, I understand.
Everybody, you know, I don't know how y'all manage y'all's, but, you know, I'm managing 5.8% of that total allotment, you know, or 6%, whatever it is.
6.1.
And so, you know, I can't do much with $35,000 or $58,000, you know, so if I gotta pay, you know, 2 projects of any size, I have to bank money. So I purposely don't spend money on every little crack that I see, that sometimes I get inquiries about, because I know this road over here is about 2 or 3 years away. You know, usually Paul and I, you know, discuss that, and, you know, hey, this is your problem road about 3 years from now, and that's gonna cost $100,000 to do. Well, guess what? You know, do a little maintenance, you know, I got a bank for 3 years to save $100,000, you know, and my roads are in great shape. I'm in a little different situation than y'all, but, you know, 300,000 is definitely plenty of money for me to maintain, but it don't take long when you do a couple of miles of road, resurfacing, and boom, you get a $120,000 deal, so,
Well,
I think it took a total of 3 years for us to get Stevens Mill Road done.
yeah, that's right.
for
And
me,
Dwayne, y'all.
knowing what you're gonna have every year helps you budget better.
That's right.
Because, you know, if one year if Tyler gets 30 one year and 80 the next year, that's a huge fluctuation, so.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I think it needs to be a set amount, just like Tyler said, we've talked about it, and we're both in agreement with it, and we both are willing to do whatever it takes to have that set amount each year.
Yep.
And I mean, it's gonna help us all some years, and it's, I mean, you know, like next year, we'll spend.
65% or
Yeah.
60, whatever it is.
Judge, does those numbers include our flex money or not?
No, they don't include the flex money. The flex money is different.
Yeah, okay.
Tyler's district is 20,287. 11, and that, Jack's district, 48,884.60. Barry's district, 55,239.59.
55, did you say?
Yeah.
55,239.
55,239.59.
Okay.
It's not only just resurfacing. I got some
Jason-
gravel roads I'd like to,
Jason got
like to talk to the first time. In fact,
63,549.98 in flex.
I was telling you how much your flex money is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Robert Earl's got 41,551.91.
It's flex money.
Got you, yeah.
And Thomas, you got 14,909.81. Because you got the least amount of roads, you got 6.1% of the roads.
But what I start saying, it's not only resurfacing. I got some roads eventually I'd like to blacktop. In fact, I wish I'd lived long enough, which I want, to be on the court to every road in the county, every county road is blacktop. Then we could take our grader and just use it for snow. And it wouldn't be they wouldn't be driving 10, 15 miles just to, and they do, just to grade one road. Depends what district you're in.
That's right. Well, Judge, I appreciate you looking at that for us and getting those numbers together. And you work hard on getting the road budget stuff worked out, and I appreciate that. And like I said, I appreciate you looking into it and finding that contingency you said we might be able to pull from over in occupational tax to maybe make up for that, where we can get our allotment changed for what you read off to us. I mean, if that's what we need to do, I mean, I'll make a motion that we move that $366,984.04 from occupational tax over to the road fund to make our new allotments distributed based on $1 million, which was just read to us.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. They had $366,984.04 to the road servicing money, which would make it $2,066,984.04. Is what the road allotment will be if the motion passes.
Do we need to make a budget amendment for that? Do we need to do a budget amendment for that?
We can take care of that at the next court meeting.
Okay.
The transfer.
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion on it? This could, of course, someday run into a budget issue, and I hope the court willing to aware of that. If we try to add $1 million every year, if we still continue to have carryover money. Okay, let's have a roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
I'm gonna vote no.
I got one discussion I'd like to talk about on the road thing is, and I don't have an answer, but I think it's prudent that we might have a discussion about how to maybe manage the money differently. At face value, 6.1% is enough for me to maintain the roads at a lesser number than $1 million for District 6. Okay, does that make sense? So all my roads are paved. So I'm talking about maintenance and resurfacing, right? Maybe I don't need 6.1%, but that is skewed when you're moving the base. If 6.1% of $1 million is 61,000, 6.1% of $500,000 is 35,000, okay? 30,500. So, I am open-minded to having a discussion that we sit down and say, let's move the maintenance number to a lower number, okay? We're still gonna spend $1 million every year. But our maintenance number, and this is just this needs some more thinking than what I'm doing today in court. I've thought about this before, but we moved the maintenance number to a lower number, And then throughout the next 12 months, after budget's done, this budget's done, so let's spend the next 8 months addressing some needs that are outside our districts. I don't have anything, guys, but do you have something? If you have something, I have no problem funding it, okay? But when I'm taking 6.1% of a million, I'm more apt to say I'm holding that and building my stuff up until I need something. That works if we all work together. If we say, hey, Jason's got a road over here that's been gravel for years. He can't never build up the money because he only, his what I don't know what your percentage.
26.
His 26% is just, it's hard for him to maintain, and he's getting a half a mile repaved every year of new gravel turned into asphalt, and he's got 50 miles to do. So do the math. How long is it going to take him to do? And when he paves that half a mile, he's got to gobble up a little more maintenance money. So I'm perfectly happy to say, hey, Thomas, you're going to get, 6.1% because that's the basis of your roads, but we're going to deal with two different numbers, and I'm making this up. This is hypothetical. Our budget's still going to be $1 million, but 800,000 of it is going to be our maintenance money, and everybody's going to get their percentage of 800,000. We're going to take the other 200,000, and as a body of the court, we're going to sit down together and address. Everybody's going to submit something that they need done, and we look at that together as a court and evaluate that and see what the greatest need is, and we throw that 200,000 at that. Does that make sense?
That's what we should have done with this extra amount right there.
I would have been happy with it. I would have been happy taking that 330,000 and giving it all to two people.
I would have fought for every penny. I need it.
I do too.
And I don't want it to be a fight. That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, I'm going to pull.
I want to sit down here and address the needs. I don't represent just District 6.
I am, so absolutely.
I'm here to make all Logan County better. And the people in North Logan deserve paved roads just like the people in the city limits of Russellville. And if anything I can do to help that, I'm happy for it. So all I know is what I've been doing for 15 years ain't going to help you at the rate you need help. And I'm picking on you. Y'all may be in the same situation. I don't know.
See, I can't.
Thomas, when it comes down to that, one of the greatest commodities we got, as long as it lasts, is that flex money.
Yeah, all the flex money's huge.
You know what I'm talking about,
and that's how you remember, Judge, we used to draw it from a hat.
Yeah.
We used to draw the flex money from a hat. And I'd win every year, and I'm not a lucky guy, but Harold Prince was.
But you got.
That's how he'd like to do it.
But you got over. You got $200,000 worth of flex.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I'm happy that we probably should in my opinion, we should relook at how we're doing our road dollars. If we're going to say our road dollars is $1 million, we're going to budget $1 million. Let's have a discussion. Thomas, how much do you need to maintain and take care of what you need to take care of? Okay? Mm-hmm. There's a number there. The percentage is right because that we have taken the percentage. I own 6.1% of the roads. And I guess when you're talking about maintenance, I should get 6.1% of the maintenance. I shouldn't necessarily get 6.1% of the total asphalt money because everybody wants to give more asphalt because you've got roads that need to go from gravel to asphalt. Making up numbers, that costs $100,000 a mile. But maintenance, $100,000 will do 10 miles. Again, I just made that up for a scenario. So let's look at that different. That's one option. I'm sure there's 100 or more. I know Barry's got good ideas on that. We've discussed it just a little bit. But let's throw the needs out there and everybody say, this is what I need. We've talked to Paul and Kelly, and we've talked to Scotty's, and that'll take $50,000 to do, and this will take 100, and this will take 200, and this will take 300, and we start prioritizing that and start knocking them off. We'll never get them knocked out if we don't bring them before this whole body and say, this road needs to go from gravel to pave, and it's going to cost $100,000.
I'm open to changing the way we do it, but as far as what we're doing today, what we had to do today, you know, I think we needed to get up to $1 million for what we just did. Now, maybe next year, you know, but like I said,
And I have
I'm
no-
open, I'm open to.
And I have no problem, and I don't know if we can do it or not, I have no problem doing that now and taking some of my money that I have now, if I can, and say, hey, District 4 has a road that needs $50,000 to get it paved, and I take it out of my money. I mean, I'm okay. I mean, I need to hold on to some, but I don't need $330,000.
What about, do you have any of the old 68 when they put the new 68 in? You take, when we go right outside of Russellville here, see that turned into a county road, the whole 68, that thing is, well, it was 2-lane wide road.
35
You think
feet.
how much asphalt that's gonna take to go, was it Miles and then Stephanie? And
Yep.
I mean, and there's one right outside of town here by the DAV that runs right there by Earl.
Earl.
We got Earl.
Yep.
And you, man, that's 10 miles, 8 miles to the Todd County line. How much asphalt it takes to put that back, put a surface on it?
And that's why we can't be greedy as a body. You know,
Yeah.
we need to, this is an opportunity that we can show that we can manage that a different way. Barry, one of these days, 5 years, 10 years, gonna get hit, and he's gonna need $300,000 to resurface Earl Road or Stephanie Road or whatever. And he's got it now because he's got that in the back of his head, but he's the only one that's got it in the back of his head. You know, because there's no road plan. If we could just list that and say, you know, I need, you know, my district needs about $50,000, $60,000, $40,000 to $60,000 a year for maintenance. Okay, that's all I need. So I'm happy, but I need to build up for that resurfacing. Okay, so I've always tried to do $20,000 to $30,000 a year to resurface when a big thing hits me. And, you know, I've been very fortunate the roads are lasting longer than what I predicted. So I'm
They're doing a
in
good
unique-
job. They're doing a good job. Surface, we're putting down 2 inches, a lot on the top.
That
coat.
is the trick.
And,
If you can't put down 2 inches and 1 inch of top coat,
coat.
whatever you call it, you shouldn't do it.
that's
See,
exactly right. I mean,
that's-
you try to skim it out too far and it won't hold up.
That's some of my problem in my district. I have some roads that were put down 1-inch base, and they're falling apart.
You just want to tear it up and redo it.
Won't do it, won't hold.
It's not holding.
And that's why you have to bank up so much, because you take 1 inch versus 2, it's double. I mean,
And, you know, and then once I get all that kind of stuff fixed, or you know, I might not need $83,000 a year, but today I do.
Yeah.
You know, I might not need.
You know, every time we pave a road, we widen it 10%, so that costs more because,
Right.
you know,
Well, because they need to be.
and they need to be.
Well, yeah.
Because 14 foot now is the minimum, right?
Yeah.
So,
And you can't hardly pass a vehicle on 14
and we
foot.
got Stephen Thompson's Chapel Road out there. It's I could probably lay across it, and that's how wide the road is.
Yeah, I think the decision we made today needed to be done, and we can look at, you know, different options in the future. I'm fine with that, but
I just think the percentage model has really ran its course, and we ought to rethink that. And again, the only thing I'm thinking of at the top of my head, there ought to be a number for maintenance that we all need to maintain what we have currently, and then there needs to be a second part of that, which is resurfacing and new roads going from gravel to asphalt, and that's where we should work together to spend that money.
Well, that's what
And
it's all. Like you
that's one
said.
place you can't use the flex money.
Right.
You can't use flex money for initial
I
service.
agree
You
with
can
you.
or can't?
you
Can't.
can't.
It's only,
And
it's
it's
only
like-
resurfacing.
Okay.
Like me and Barry, I've got 22 miles of gravel. What you got? 20. We're not going to get rid of all of our gravel. There's no way possible. It's not
Some
going to
roads
hold
are-
up. I mean,
Some roads just can't handle asphalt.
at the end of the day, District 4 is always going to have, in 20 years, there'll still be 5-6 miles of gravel. That's just, it is what it is. But I would love to, and that's what I've been doing every year, is picking a few gravel roads and.
Me too.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Thomas. I think we need to work together to get all the roads in the county, not just my district. I don't want to, you know, sound like I'm being stingy or you know,
Well,
with
next
only
year-
one in District 1, you know, but yeah, I mean, I agree that it could be done a little differently. But we need a grading, do we have a grading system, like if Kelly and them, do they have a list they can go by and say, okay, this road is, got, cracks, it's spidering out, like, we'll give it a B, or a C, go out and grade the road, and then they come back and give us the grading report, and then we pull them all together. If we say, when we talk about that maintenance money, and we say, well, this road and this road and this road in my district is, to me, is bad, and then Kelly goes out and he grades it, and the same thing with everybody, the roads we turn in, that we want to be part of that money you're talking about, and then we just use their grading as, as part of our decision, how we do it.
Well, that needs to be a piece of it. I don't want it to be a majority piece of it, because the grade of the road is just a piece of the puzzle, the number of homes, or what it's serving, or, what
traffic.
it's connecting to, there's other things that, that is just one thing that a magistrate has always done is, taking care of the roads, and that's, again, it's a bigger issue for you than it is me, but, people still call me and say, hey, I got a big crack going down, or we got a spring that sprung up. I have several of those springs coming up through my roads, and but anyhow, I mean, can we do a grading system? But that still
Just
needs
part
to
of
be
it.
the magistrate's decision.
Right.
I know this one, is failing, but this one is a higher priority for my district. And that magistrate should have that right to do that, not the road bond. Saying, no, we're not doing that one because this one has got a lower scroll. You see what I'm saying? There's, whether we like it or not, there's still some political atonements to getting road paved.
So if you add all those factors together, including grading it somehow, then, it should be an easier decision for us as a group, it should be an easier decision. Say, well, Kelly's the road professional, he's been doing it for years and years and years. He knows roads, he knows when they're failing, and that's.
And I'm happy to do it now. If Judge says it's okay that I take some of my money and spend it on another road, I'm okay that process starts now, but I think over the next 8 or months or 10 months till we get to budget time next year, I think we ought to have a plan that we could work together and say, hey, this is how we're going to do it.
I think we're too close to time of paving right now, my personal opinion, because I plan on doing a lot of paving as soon as it turns fall. We might have time to come up with a plan and stuff, but maybe we have until next budget year. But we don't need to wait. We don't need to procrastinate. We need to start working on the plan if we want to change it.
And the other thing that I think it would do, and Judge, you correct me if I'm wrong. So, election year, you can only spend 65% of your money. I've asked Judge before, is it 65% of the money that's allotted for that budget year, or is it 65% of my total money? The judge has told me it's 65% of my total money. So if I'm sitting here with $333,000, I can only spend 65 of it, okay? And I get that. It doesn't matter to me because it ain't a big issue. It matters to you, though. It's a big deal for you. So I think if we pulled that money and had it set in 2 different situations, you'd have, again, I'm just calling it your maintenance money, and then not assigned to no district, you had a budget line item of money for, I'm just going to call it new roads. Then, your money's sitting there at new roads, and you shouldn't be subject to that 65%. If this body says, we got $400,000 for new roads this year, and we as a group decide we're spending it here, 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 and here, it shouldn't affect our road money allotment that's been assigned to you, and you. You know what I'm saying? You'd only spend 65 of that. You could spend all of this.
Now, I lost that. I know what you're saying. You're saying next year you can't spend all the money you want to spend on roads?
No.
No,
Next
you
year's an
gotta-
election
You
year.
gotta
I did
hold,
not know that.
you gotta hold 65%.
I mean-
Even if you save it up, you can't spend but 65%.
Other words, is that state law then?
Yes.
Or it ain't Logan County
I
law?
thought it was allotted money, but I was informed different.
It is a state law that election year, you can only spend 65% of your
That's why
road
this year you
money.
gotta spend the money.
Is it
better
65 or
get the
60?
I understand what they're
65.
saying. They're saying,
65%.
I understand what they're saying.
And it, and that includes money that you may have saved from previous years. It's your total balance.
So you don't need to save a lot this year then.
Well, that tends
up
to
to
be
you.
what happens, is this year you'll see a huge expenditure. Everybody spends all of their money because they don't know if they're gonna win re-election or not. And that's another reason I think it's part of the problem of it being not a perfect system. I shouldn't say a bad system.
35% of every thing in the budget's got to be left for the next court.
The next court,
Now, if
whoever
you-
that is.
If you happen to be on that court, you can start spending
Right.
the 35.
The new roads is what, I wish we could come up with something on that too. We got to get, I've got right now 2 people working on trying to get roads up to par, and he's spending a bunch of money. The gentleman on 5 Oaks is spending a gob of money to try to get it up to pass. And I've got Phillip Lane that I can't get up to, I don't know. I've been wrestling with that hard.
And that's,
Well, that's,
And I know it's a different story, but I wish there was some way, there was a secondary county road or something, this, some kind of
I mean, I think
different plans.
at some point, we can't keep on punishing the people on Phillip
That's
Lane for
exactly
somebody
right.
else's bad decision.
That's exactly right.
I've got to do the same thing on Clementis, Somebody's bad decision, but it's not the people.
It's not the people that live there.
That's right.
They chose to live in Logan County and move here, or move, they're paying taxes, they deserve to have a road to go
We are
to.
not prorating their tax rate
Right.
because somebody made a bad
yeah,
decision.
we're gonna have to bite the bullet and fix 3 or 4 problems.
Well, I don't think
I
we
got
can.
one that is fixing to come up pretty soon, because we're gonna do something on 2 of them, but one's really working hard on it, and Phillip Lane's so many different individuals.
Yeah.
I can't get them to pay.
Just let us know.
I'm fixing to.
I don't think we can hash it all out in one meeting.
All right, we can't do it in one
I think
meeting,
we-
but
But yeah, I'm open.
I'm like Thomas, though, we're for the county.
Yep.
He serves District 6, and I serve District 3, but we're for Logan County. I echo that.
Okay, for this program, I just hope we don't get into pulling things out of the hat, which road gets it.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I'm not ever doing that.
No.
That passing the hat business is,
No.
I'm not doing that. If we can't sit down as a group and be open-minded about what is best for the entire county and what the greatest need is, I'm not doing that.
I agree 100%.
Okay, now we ready to move on?
Yes,
Ready to
sir.
move on?
Okay, next item of business, let me find my agenda, I move stuff around.
It's,
There's a correction in the May 25th, 2021 correction to order number 10 for a contract period with Tourist Bank, formerly BB&T. If y'all look at what I put in your folder, the motion reads, by Thomas Bolden, second by Tyler Davenport, to approve to extend the banking service agreement with Tourist Bank, formerly BB&T, of Russellville, Kentucky, for the Special Reserve Fund with an investment money for a 1-year period, beginning July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. The rate will be reduced from 0.12 to 0.7, tied to federal fund rate minus 0.25, but we'll have the potential to increase if federal fund rate is increased during the contract period. And basically, if you look, it was the last date in it is July 1st, 2021 to July 30th, 2022, which is it should have said June 30th, 2022. So basically just need a motion correcting that one date and order number 10 of the May 25th.
So moved.
Second.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any questions? Not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, we need to go into closed sessions. And that'd be under KRS 61-810, 1B, deliberations on future acquisition or sale of real property.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, we're back at regular session now. So we have a motion.
Yeah, Judge, I'd like to make one. Let me pull one thing up here right now. Judge, I'd just like to make a motion not to execute or move forward to the agreement of purchase and sale on the Houchins property adjacent to us, based on A, the terms presented to us in the agreement from Houchins Industry, and B, the results and the findings from the inspection that we had JKS Architects do for us. We feel like it doesn't no longer fit our needs, and I would make a motion that we do not move forward with that.
Second.
Okay, got a motion by Thomas, second by Tyler. Question. Okay, not hearing any, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay. Any post agenda today? I know at the last meeting, I think, or maybe the meeting before last, there was a couple of roads mentioned. Did they do the evaluation for y'all?
Yes.
Okay. And then I think, we got, plat on,
Dakota Lane.
Taylor Lane. Joe, if you want to touch any on that?
Well, I think, from what I know of it, we actually found that we already had a plat, so that would have seemed to have covered it. But I believe you went ahead and got a new plat executed by all the existing landowners that would add 5 feet to bring it up to what the right-of-way is now. So I think in light of that first one, that would give us 40, and so you will all have added the additional right-of-way feet that now exists in the law, so I think we'll be fine with that one.
Okay. So you think we're good to go ahead, for Scotty, go ahead and record that?
I think so. If nothing
Scotty,
else,
you need anything on that for us to make a acknowledgement or anything? Are you good to record? Okay.
worst case scenario, you've got 40, which there are plenty of roads you've only got 40 on. So,
Right.
the fact that you've got all the current landowners signing that and that recorded, that should give you the.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
I don't know if y'all talked about this or not, but just a reminder that the August 8th parade is Saturday, August the 7th. I will, I know Tyler's expressed interest in riding in the parade. Was that 1 year or 2 years?
2 years ago, we couldn't do it last year. but
Yeah,
it's 2
that's
years
right,
ago.
couldn't do it, so, yeah. So it was actually a really good parade, and very well attended, year before last, 2019, and they look like they've put a full-blown effort in organizing another one, and so I'd encourage you, and if we get enough, we'll put a vehicle together, or ask the road barn to put something together for us. If y'all are not interested, I mean, Tyler and I will whip up something that we'd ride in. I know the judge usually gets his Jeep there and ride.
We
but
can ride
anyhow.
we can ride in the bed of his Jeep now. We've got a bed.
Oh, that's right. But anyhow, I just wanted to remind you about it.
Be there too.
Okay.
All right, send me, make sure y'all remind me, I'll try to be there.
And I apologize again for my tardiness today.
You made it for the importance day.
No excuse.
Whole lot going on.
It's like I was thinking about that on the way back. I was like, man, it's like, I know sure Barry can relate, wheat harvest. You know, my mind's on 10. I mean, I'm putting in 150 hours a week, it seems like, and, you know, it's just my time, and I gotta get it. And anyhow, I was a crane operator today until y'all called. Make that
I make a
golden
motion
motion.
with adjourn.
Second, Robert Earl.
I'm gonna go get it.
Okay, Joe, we need to put that on the agenda to accept the plan at the next one, or when do you think we need to do that?
Were you heading home Can you drop me off at Pratt's?
Scotty said he's good to record.
Okay.
I just need a call. Make sure it's done, but he said it'd be done. I got
Tyler just added Tyler and Thomas just added 5 feet on each side to give us the full right of way now.
Oh, on the Stevenson Mill Road side, yeah.
Robert Earl made a motion to adjourn,
And I seconded it.
and Tyler seconded.
I didn't hear that, I apologize. No, you're good. Okay, all in favor, well, yes, sir. Let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.